Hi guys, welcome to your Moon in Aries reading. As you guys may know, it stems from October 8th to October 10th, I believe. Yes, and which you probably actually know more than the dates. You know that we also have a full moon in Aries. And in case you don't speak dog, that's what the dog is saying, you know, the one that you hear barking and will probably be barking throughout this entire broadcast. So anyway, let's just jump in. I am super excited to see energetically what we're receiving for this moon in Aries, this full moon in Aries. Wow. Interesting. You know, the full moon marks a completion, right, of the moon cycle. And then here we also have, in a sense, yeah, well, I say a completion, but in a sense, an ending of many things. Let's put it that way. That's probably a better way to say. During the full moon, we got this time where we can release. And yet we also have the Aries energy, which is like, you know, an initiation energy. All right, so let's just jump in. Oh, okay. Oh, 2 cards. So guys, I don't know if you've also been feeling the abundance that's in the air. I know definitely I've been getting information about abundance, spirit, and there's the 5 of Pentacles, lack mentality, right? Paucity, poverty consciousness, victim consciousness, you name it. So it's interesting because when we are in a time where there's a lot of release, remember when you're releasing things, when you're purging things, when things are coming up to be taken away or to be looked at and or resolved, what you're actually doing is also creating room for more to come in. Now, when I say more, I mean a higher frequency of energy, better experiences, and as Spirit has been trying to really tell us recently, it's important to understand that you're a master manifester. You know, the way we think about abundance, it's always marketed as this idea of how to become a manifester and how to manifest it. You're already manifesting. It's called your life. Look around your room. Look around everything. Why do you have a red chair there? You manifested a red chair instead of a blue one, right? And this is just how life goes. So really, when we're working on manifestation, a better way to look at it is really working on how to become more conscious about the quality of what it is that you're calling in for yourself. Because a lot of people think that the calling in happens at the conscious level, meaning like, I have an idea, I have a desire, I'm going to speak it out and I'm going to write it down and I'm going to speak to the 4 directions of the winds and all of this. But they fail to realize that while that's a part of it, yes, conscious attention always helps. It's awareness, but they don't realize that it's the subconscious, the unconscious energies that they're carrying that are magnetizing all sorts of things. And of course the conscious mind gets really surprised. Like I wanted a new job, but I didn't ask to get a job with a boss who's stealing from the company and coworkers who don't trust me. And like, yeah, you may not realize it that you were asking for the job of your dreams, but your energy field with all these unresolved fears and conditioning and past life stuff and generational patterns that you're not aware of that are informing your actions and your decisions, that brought it in, right? And the beauty of cultivating consciousness and becoming aware of what our patterns are and our core beliefs are is that we can have the experience of that initial reaction and become aware of it. Like, it's okay that you have this initial reaction, you've got these fear thoughts, you blah, 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 and you're aware of it, but then you can make a choice. And that's what this is all about. That's what it means to manifest. It means to become conscious of what you are magnetizing towards you. And then from a conscious mind perspective, making a choice that's in your best interests, your health and well-being. And to be honest, sometimes we really just need to take time to have, trial and error, to go through reflection points, all of that, in order to understand what is truly for our health and well-being. But I will tell you this. What's for your health and well-being is going to be something that's tried and true and that is independent of your social conditioning, the conditioning that you've learned in this lifetime, from your past, all of this that tells you, what's right for you and what's best for you. No, you're going to have to feel your way through it. The whole world can tell you something's not good for you. And if it just makes your heart sing, then hey, maybe you're onto something there, okay? Now, anyway, look at these cards that are just building up as we're chatting. Let's take a look. Ooh, okay, yeah, okay. This card was like, nope, bring me back out. There it is, the Sun card. The Sun card represents, of course, many things. It could represent, of more than anything, it represents illumination. But then we interpret, what does that illumination mean? It can be illumination in terms of profuse energy coming in for your health and well-being. It can be about illumination in the sense of revelation, revealing things to you. Many people tout the Sun card as being the most lucky, the most fortuitous card in the deck, and I like that. I like that idea. But let's see what it means in this energy reading. Okay, what I'm seeing here is it's definitely coming through as protection. So I'm seeing that what Spirit is saying with this card that peeked out and was like, nope, I need to be on this table. You saw me, I was putting it away and I was like, oh, okay. They're saying that at this point in time, you are divinely protected. It's almost giving you carte blanche, I guess, to dream. Go ahead, dream. What is it that you would like to have for yourself? Well, and this energy is not even asking you to go out there and make it happen. It's just start to cultivate the ability to dream, because when you dream, it means that you're acknowledging what is to a certain extent. That's a healthy dreamer, right? Acknowledging what is to a certain extent, but understanding that you're not bound to what you see around you. You're not bound by it. You can have an awareness of one thing and then be able to completely still give forth of yourself, to still believe in what it is that you'd like to believe in. It's kind of the same as you're able to acknowledge your emotions and your knee-jerk reactions and your first thoughts and all of that, and still make a decision for yourself. This is the movement into being able to have more than one. It's being able to have paradox, to accommodate these ideas. At the same time, if you're able to have paradox, then you realize that you're no longer stuck to this duality, good, bad, up, down, in, out, black, white. This is not reality. The reality from a higher perspective is that there's a lot going on at the same time. And the more that you can accommodate having all of these around you and understanding that you still encompass all of it, even though you focus on one, that's more of a realistic nature. And we also see that when we think about ourselves. That's why we're in between two minds about something. This is why we get pulled in different directions. All these phrases that we use in the English language, for example, and in many other languages, right? They have their own. It reflects the reality of energy. You are made up of different consciousnesses, different parts, and you're here to integrate the self. But it first starts with learning to accept what you are, what is. And that means accepting that you have many different parts to you, different interests. Some of those are shadow parts, and you work towards allowing those energies to show themselves to you and accepting that that's where you're at, but you're also in your light parts, right? And so Spirit is saying at this time, during this full moon and in general, right, it's a beautiful opportunity for you to dream and to be, look, yeah, as I said that dream, I hit this card, and this card gives me dreamer vibes. It says ego, a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. But what you don't see here is this man has a mask on, and he's holding this, this treasure in his hands. And look at the angel right on top, Archangel Jophiel. She's allowing him to keep his eyes closed to what is around him and to dream up. Because Archangel Jophiel is usually associated with all things beautiful, all things with beauty, helping you to beautify your thoughts, helping you to beautify your space, bringing a new perspective in, seeing another way of being, right? This is the the blessing that she brings. And when you're in that high vibe space, being open, being flexible, allowing yourself to be malleable, you're out of the ego, because the ego is very rigid, it's very fixed, it's very biased, right? And it's very ego. It's very easy to stay in the ego when you have your eyes open and you're looking at your bank account, you're looking at your marriage, and you're looking at all these things material that just serve to entrap you in manifestation that is of your past now moments. Anything outside of you that you can touch and you can see is not the now moment. It's just a manifestation of the past. And so Spirit is saying it behooves you to get into a place where you can feel safe, trusted, and expansive. And that's what Archangel Uriel, coming through with the Sun card, is saying today. He's like, listen, we love you, we know you, go ahead, take a nice chill pill, lie down, relax, we've got it. I'm going to bring in the light and I'm going to cast it over you so you can rest. So a lot of you may be at rest right now as well, and so that you can dream unimpeded. Okay, now interesting, again, we have the 5 of Earth here, 5 of Pentacles, low self-worth, but I see it in the background. And right now you're being asked again to step away from that reality. That's only one of the realities that you've come to associate yourself with. If you're not keeping it, Gucci, so to speak, then you're stuck in that reality and you're mistaking this optional, I guess, way of being, not where you are, but this optional way of being, and lack and poverty consciousness, martyrdom consciousness, victim consciousness, all of that, low self-worth. You're making that your real self. That's not you. That's not you, boo. That's just one story you've been sold, and for reasons that you may be conscious or unconscious of, you've decided, big D word, you've decided, big C word, you've chosen, maybe not at the conscious level, but definitely you've chosen to believe that's your reality, but it's not. And so Spirit is saying, let's detach from that for a little bit. Let's do a little thought experiment, a little feeling experiment. And look what's in the foreground, the Empress. Archangel Gabriel, get it, right? What is she saying? Lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others. Hello, this is what this is about. So we've got some energies here, and it's really up to you. Really, really is up to you. The 5 of Swords, or the 5 of Air here, it says an unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everyone's motives. So what I'm getting energetically from this is that Spirit's saying, you remember you're the one in charge of your mind. You choose from a conscious mind perspective what it is that you'd like to go with. You can go along with your conditioning, your conditioned thoughts, your conditioned core beliefs, all of that low self-worth. Having the experience, the initial experience, go ahead, you can choose to go along with it. Many of you do unconsciously, right? Or you can choose to acknowledge that that's a thing, but you don't have to go with it. So the question is, during this time period, what is it that you would like to do? That's like literally, you open your eyeballs every morning and your team's like, what do you want to do today? And then if we're really keeping it 100, we're just like, I want to bring in my past. I would like to continue thinking about all this stuff. And I'd like to take what I see in my bank account as reality. I would like to look over at my husband and see him as someone who's going to leave me one day. I would like to wake up alone in my bed and realize that I'll never get married. I would like to look out at my children and see that I haven't accomplished anything in my life, whatever it is for you. Now, you may not do this at a conscious level, but these are running in the background. And just like any, computer system that needs to have its cache, C-A-C-H-E, cleared, it's the same with us. We need to clear out all this conditioning. So my question to you right now is, why are the dogs barking so much? I'm sorry. Maybe you guys can't hear it that much, but I feel like I'm literally trying to keep this channel going with this dog barking. We all love pets, but please, if it's a yappy one, let's do something. Anyway, sorry, I'm so bad. Noise pollution. All right, anyway, God bless the pups. Some of them are watching, I'm sure. Anyway, where was I? Need to link back. Okay, my question to you guys is this. My question is this. During this time, how would you like to honor what it is that you can put forward for yourself? How would you like to build upon your abundance? How would you like to build upon your ability to structure your life? Because you are in the driver's seat. So if you're here listening to this video and you decide to kind of keep it pushing, it was great, I watched the video, I liked it, or I didn't like it, I liked it up until Jonelle started talking about those dogs, and dogs are sweet, and what's wrong with her, and whatever your thought process is, you have a choice. Am I going to take it upon myself to do something different? Am I going to change something? Am I going to put one step forward by looking at my thoughts when it comes to manifesting what it is that I'd like in terms of quality? Am I going to reflect? Am I going to go to sleep and reflect tonight? Am I just going to watch a video and that's it and then move on with my life? And you can do anything. But the point is, remember that you can do anything. 9 of Earth, right? I love this. 9 of Earth is 9 of Pentacles, that independence. It's that independence. If you're, of course, for some people they're like, oh, but it means I'm single, right? You may be single, but or you may not be. But what I'd like you to focus on is looking at it in terms of being in the driver's seat, where you are, fully in the driver's seat. Balance. So Archangel Jophiel, God bless, is coming through with a nod to the concept of balance. But what I love about what he's saying right now is that, and you might actually feel it, some of you, is that he is going to excuse me, I'm sorry, I just had to sneeze. He's going to work on the crown chakra right now, okay? So you may actually feel energies opening up around the head. For some of you, my left ear just popped. I was just about to say, for some of you, energies are coming in through the ears. I'm feeling the neck, so it's coming through the body, through the crown. Okay, definitely now in the throat. Oh my God, it's coming through. It's coming through the crown chakra, filtering through the body and down. So some of you, as it's coming through the stomach area and downward, I'm feeling some of you may be having some digestive issues. I see some blockages there. I'm getting confirmation there with this yellow here at the solar plexus energies. Spirit is saying oatmeal. For some of you here, or somebody here, they're highlighting oatmeal. That could be because they're using that to get your attention, like you need to look at the digestion that's going on, or it could be a sign for some of you to eat more oatmeal, right? So as a way to somehow balance something for you. But either way, balancing. Either way, they're bringing these energies in. Right now, it's around the ankles for some of you, and for some of you, it's around the calf muscles. We have a lot of stuff in the lower extremities of our body, and I feel like a lot of old contracts need to be released, especially in the calves and the muscles. So if you're feeling a little something now or later or recently in those areas, Spirit there's a lot of stubborn energy there, where the guides are like, we need you to release these contracts. For some of you, it could actually be like uncles. It could be, I'm hearing the words foreign members of service. That may mean something for some of you guys. If you were in the service of some type overseas, or if this is a nod to some other kind of service that, it doesn't have to be military. But either way, they're saying, let it go. And there's a fear that some of you are letting it go. Great job. There's a fear that if you let it go in the present moment, that you're cutting off ties of love, that you'll never see these people again. Remember, that's you holding on too tightly. If you're holding on so tightly because you have a fear that letting go means that the whole relationship or the whole connection or the whole activity or action or event or opportunity will fall apart, then that's a sign that you were the one holding this up one-sidedly. So you have to remember that when you let go, if something is meant to be, or if something is for reals for you, or even if there's even for reals enough energetic structure there to hold it together, then you letting go is not going to contribute to its downfall. All you're doing is letting go of the excessive unnecessary control. As they're saying excessive, unnecessary control, they're definitely talking to some of you about something that is they're shifting a little bit topics here to talk about some of you who are overly invested. Thank you, that's the word. Overly invested in a situation that has nothing to do with you. I love how they're like, nothing. It's very strong. Get out of it is what they're saying. You're gonna know if this is for you. And I feel like they've been saying, get out, get out, get out. If this is not your business, get out of it. Sometimes we inject ourselves into the ongoings of others, be it family members, friends, society, I don't know. We have this idea that just because we know somebody, just because they're in our family, just because we went to school together, just because whatever, that we have a connection that includes the perk of looking into their business, of making decisions for them, telling them what they should do, looking out for them. I'm just trying to, Spirit is like, now they're getting pretty stern, They're like, this is not your business. Mind your business. And this is something they were talking about. They were definitely telling us to mind our business earlier in September, throughout all of September, by the way, BT dubs. Mind your business. Because I do feel that a lot of times we meddle. And meddling, you have to look underneath. Why am I meddling? What is my motivation? Sometimes we meddle because we got nothing going on, or we think we have nothing going on. We're bored. When Spirit's like, no, dude, you have to look at yourself. We've been trying to get you to work on this part of yourself for a long time, but you're deflecting by looking at other people's stuff. That's one thing. Another reason why we get involved in other people's things is maybe there's a conditioning in the family where everyone meddles, but this is that, and no one ever reintroduced the reality like, hey, boundaries, none of your business. Right? So sometimes it's just conditioned within a family. It could also be because we have wounds that we maybe we want to be heard, maybe we want to feel right, maybe we want to be in the authority seat. If you are a matriarch or patriarch of a family, sometimes people are self-appointed, but if you're the matriarch or patriarch of a family, sometimes there's this feeling like you're entitled to say stuff and you're not. You're just not. That's old school, right? Sometimes, you're at the head because of your age, but the wisdom is lacking, the merit is lacking, right? So there's something to be said for that. Somebody needed to hear that because they're listening to a matriarch or patriarch who's overstepping boundaries. You got to keep it 100, guys. Some of you are not matriarchs and patriarchs, and yet you're assuming a position as though you can and are invited to and even should mention to other people what they should be doing, what's better for them, what worked for you, Spirit is like, get out of it. It's messy. #messy. Okay, and I don't mean like the football player / soccer player for our American audience. I don't mean that messy. I'm talking about messy with the Y at the end, okay? So Spirit is saying this is a come to Jesus moment for a lot of you. You gotta look at what you're doing. Right? That's all part of the clearing process. And that's all of the part of, we're still in the legs, by the way. We're still in the calves and the ankles right now. Like, let it go. It has nothing to do with you. What else? Wow, that was a lot. Oh, thanks. They're saying, I'm suddenly seeing shackles and handcuffs come off of my wrists because they're saying you tie yourself to these people. You tie yourself to these instruments. They're saying these are instruments of your own destruction. So when we overmind business, we're minding the business of other people and telling ourselves we have what's the story there? What's the story that you're giving yourself as to why you have to be the one to say something? Why sometimes you think there's something that needs to be said and there really isn't. And if there is something that needs to be said, does it even need to be said by you? And then if it is by you, is this now even the time? And if it is now the time, are you even going about it the right way? Right? So there's so many things that we need to look at when we decide to get into other people's stuff. And I'm also seeing that they're going to be having a little, I don't want to say harsh punishments, because from our perspective, that's what it looks like. But they're going to have to use a little bit of a stronger, I'm hearing boot, giving you the boot. I'm definitely getting, people are going to start giving you the boot. People are going to start loking up on you. If you are overstepping your boundaries, they're going to start letting you know. And this is because it's not to you, it's for you. You know, it's one of those things. Because Spirit has been trying to let us know what our boundaries are. Get out of other people's business. And I'm seeing for some of you here, this could even be in the workplace. It doesn't even have to just be in the workplace. Family is just so ripe for such things. And the holidays are coming up. Listen, the only thing I'm invested in around the holidays is the plate of food, because I know mind your business. Hey guys, how's it going? You keep it light. Someone wants to share, they invite you in, you share, you're polite about it, you feel it out. It's not about, well, if I were you or I heard, no. You know, I'm just saying a really, really great example that I just want to bring up. It's one where we're always like, what do we do? Spirit, what do we do? I ran into, like, I was just going for my coffee and they didn't see me, but I saw the husband of my best friend having coffee and totally snugging it out, looking real snug at that table with somebody else. This is clearly like, I know I've seen something. And then you're like, what do I do? Many of you will have a knee-jerk reaction automatically. I'm going to tell them, or I'm not saying anything, right? There's a whole spectrum here. But then what if you're like, I really just want to do the right thing because you know what? It came before me. It's present before me. The universe put me here. What do I do? What do I do? Do I say something because this is my friend and I want to look out for them and and it came to me, so maybe the divine wants me to say something? Or is it one of those things where like, I'm seeing it, but I don't think it's my place to say something, because if I say something, then if my friend's not ready to take action, she's going to get mad at me and say I want to break them up and I'm single and I'm not happy for her and I'm gonna lose my friendship, and the two of them are go on together and work it out, and or am I gonna talk to him and say, hey, I saw this, if you don't talk to her about it, I'm going to, like, what do I do? And honestly, I'm not here to give you advice on it. I would say sit and meditate, because something like that is really, really dependent upon your soul contract. And that's all I want to say. For some of you, that's a moment you're supposed to say something. For some of you, you got to bounce. Okay, you may disagree with me, but I'm just saying, look at this life experience right there. Just, right? And life has shown us that there are so many ways to respond to life, no matter what the stimulus is. It could be that, it could be anything. And so it would behoove you to really understand that, yes, there's a certain complexity that comes along with life, and there's trial and error, and there's learning for yourself, and there's, but the best thing that you can do moving forward is when you have a stimulus, when something happens, you clock your initial reaction, you reflect upon it, you really do your best to think about all sides of this. What does action even need to be taken? What kind? Is it by me? And and consult, call in your higher self, and then do your best. But a lot of people are out here, myself included, my bad guys, my bad. A lot of people are out here telling themselves stories about what they think is the best to do, and they don't even stop and invite spirit in. They don't sit. They always feel like they gotta react. And so really, this is the time to just do your best. I'm sorry, that was so helpless. Not helpless, unhelpful. That's the word. That's so unhelpful. That's a slogan that definitely I learned in Japan. Like, there's no one has an answer for you, but they say, do your best. And like, dang, if it's a do your best situation, like, oh man. But our best is sitting down and reflecting. So during this time, Spirit is, again, going back to what they were saying in the beginning, during this time, this full moon in Aries, definitely reflect on some things, take some time out, rest, dream big, right? But, yeah, Three of Swords, sadness, yes. So they're also saying, one of the reasons, and they've told us this many times before, one of the reasons why, well, actually the main reason why we, well, okay, maybe the second main reason why we struggle with getting the healthiest view of things, the most macroscopic perspective of things, is because we carry pain, we carry heartbreak. This is understandable. When we look into the energy field, energetically speaking, because you guys know I work in the energy field and all of that stuff, when we see these masses, they're obstructions, they're blockages, they think of it like a weather cell, a low vibration weather cell just hanging out in the field. And guess what it's blocking? It's blocking the flow of energy. But what happens is this blockage, it hits differently in your different bodies. If it's hitting, when the light tries to get down through your mental field, what's going to happen is you're going to have distorted thoughts, because the blockage creates a distortion in the flow of light, the flow of love. It creates a distortion, a blockage, a momentary forgetting of sorts, if you like. And all of a sudden, now we have distorted thoughts, and we have distorted desires, and we have distorted emotions, and we have distorted knee-jerk reactions, and then we take an action based on those things. And our perception is distorted because we'll think and we'll say and we'll see things that seem reasonable because it's logical. Of course, to your distorted mind, it's logical. And we'll think that things seem right and they make sense and it feels good to me because it's based on a distortion in your emotional body and your desire body. And so you see, in a sense, we can't really always trust our own impressions. So that's where the higher self comes in. And so when we have this sun card, this is very fortuitous because Archangel Uriel is saying, hey, we see your distortion and we raise you, in the sense that we raise you up. And we're like, thank you. Yeah, we raise you up so you can walk on mountains. I'm no Josh Groban, but he sang it, you know? And this means we see where you are and we still provide an opportunity to help you to have these dreams, and we're here to help you navigate, right? Speaking of navigation, here we've got the Page of Earth. Page of Earth, I love it. Scholarly, dependable, patient, successful, good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging, a new area of study. But what I'm seeing here with the Page of Earth is that Spirit is reminding us to set our intentions. What are you setting your intentions for? Dream it up. Personally, I would like to set my intentions. I have so many, but some of them that I would like to set is to become better at feeling right off the bat what's for me and what's not for me. Now, I'm going to invite Spirit in to help me with that, because again, if I'm just using my own devices, left to my own devices, I'm like, this feels good. This feels good playing video games all day for every day of the week. And yeah, feels good, but it is not probably for my health and well-being, right? So when we invite Spirit in, when we invite God in, whoever your God is, when we invite the ascended masters of your choice in, when we invite the higher self in, they help us to see larger, from a more expanded perspective. And from that perspective, you're better able to feel and receive what feels right and what doesn't, right? So I would set my intention to align with Spirit and align with my highest self, who's most aligned with the highest source of love, by the way. It's always about love, source and love. And to help calibrate me so that I can actively tune in a better way. Another thing that I would ask Spirit, I set my intention to help me to recognize value. Now, we all know that Spirit has a different definition when it comes to value. Just like they have a different definition when it comes to agency and volition and choice. You are making more choices than you're aware. So some of the things that we get away with down here, we're like, I didn't have a choice. You're still getting the karma, because it's like from a higher perspective, we're like, oh yeah, you did. And then when you transition, God bless, and you have your life review and everyone's eating cake and everyone's like, yeah, even you'll be like, oh yeah, my bad, guys. Yeah, okay. I guess, okay. I also see why I chose, okay. But he was cute, right? But the job paid 6 figures. So we have to understand we're working with a lot. So we're just asking Spirit to help us to calibrate ourselves, to configure ourselves, reconfigure ourselves along the path of our highest good. And when we do that, we allow ourselves to somewhat bypass the conscious mind, which is just always the last to know. It don't know much sometimes, right? We're trying. Another thing I would set my intention to do is to operate within a framework that allows me, an ideological framework, a mental framework that allows me to, I guess, remove myself from the grasp of certain certain cords, certain attachments that we have, to help us to be open to new perspectives that in turn allow us to release, to get rid of the handcuffs. It's so interesting. I just had some major deja vus. I'm saying this, and it's almost like coming full circle about something. I don't need to know what that is and at my conscious level, but I know what it feels like. It feels like, oh, okay, something just happened, something shifted, there was an awareness, some type of cycle came back around. And when we have these shiftings that we can't put a name or face or rationale to, we lift it up to Spirit, like, okay, thank you, Spirit. I asked that if that was for my health and well-being and there was a sense of accomplishment on some level of my field, whoop, whoop, thank you, let's celebrate. And if it was actually, an indication that I need to learn something a little bit more, please, I ask that you guide my steps. Please align me with the path that is in my highest interest. And then please alert me, as another intention I would set, please alert me along my pathway when I need to shift again, when I need to reconfigure, because we're down here and we're doing our best, but we often need to shift again and shift again. And that makes sense, especially when we're purging and new energies are coming in. Of course, we're going to have to shift a little bit as our perspective shifts. So let me go ahead. Let's do 8 cuts. Well, 8. Okay. All right. Let me pull you out. Okay. Oh, you. Okay. Like, why am I? Oh, maybe 8 cards? I don't know. So funny. That's so funny. Because 8 cuts, but look, 6 and 2, 2 of fire, and 6 is 8. Then 6 and 11, 17, 1 and 7 is 8. That's so funny. What are you guys saying? Just kidding. 1 card. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Hold on. Thank you. So they're saying here, because here we have the Lover's card indicating, interpersonal relationships as a reflection of the intrapersonal relationship that you share with yourself. We see the 6 of Earth showing divine messengers as being these people who show up in your lives. So we're taking a look now at the people in your life with whom you have divine contracts with. Now, you may not like some of these people. You may hate some of these people. You may fear some of them. You may love some of them. You may wish that you got a longer time with some of them. But either way, they are all here to teach you, is what Spirit is saying. And the feeling that I'm kind of getting, it feels very divine, because there are some people that, they're floating in, they're floating out of your life. And Spirit's like, we don't need you here. Thank you. You can stop in, whatever. But we want to acknowledge those with whom we have major significant divine contracts with here. They're definitely carrying things that are designed for you. Spirit is saying you want to do your schoolwork here, meaning you want to learn, you want to keep going, you want to keep growing, because when you do that, you don't realize that there are people. They're saying cookies now. That's for somebody there. That word cookies is for somebody. But they're saying when you do that, you don't realize it, but you're aligning yourself with somebody who is coming in for you with a significant package of some sort. It could be just abundance in all forms. It could be a new job. It could be love. It could be something and I'm hearing escapism granted for somebody. I don't know what that is, but yes, we definitely are shouting out some people here. Another shout out, I'm getting Batman for somebody here. Batman is coming up. The symbol, I'm seeing the bat symbol here for you. Let's see, you've come into your own new partnership. Yeah, look at that. New partnership or contracts. Continue to move forward. If that's not exactly what they were just saying, I don't know. All right, but some of you, you may be coming into somebody soon. I'm getting the words three's company. The words three's company. So I'm not necessarily sure if that means three in a good sense, like three's company, like, yeah, this is great. Like, we're having a new company and, new contract's going to be signed. It's going to be a tripartite agreement, 3 owners, or it could be three's company and maybe a not so fun way, like, hey, third party, don't do it. We're about to go back around the cycle again if you didn't learn your lesson, right? However it hits you, it really is going to depend on you, and that's why personal readings are great. Shout out, I do personal readings because I keep forgetting to market for myself, okay? If you're interested in a personal reading or having an energy healing session, hit me up. You know where my Etsy page is, God bless. But anyway, Spirit is saying, yeah, and they're saying room for one more. What is it? No, it's not this one, okay. The world. I thought that was going to be, it looks like Archangel Michael poking his head through this portal and looking right at us. We're looking around what's going on here, right? Just stopping in to look at the energies. So we're constantly getting looked in on, checked in on, because we're at school. I don't know how you guys feel about Earth, but the way I see it is that it's a classroom. It's very structured in many ways. And we're in a free will universe, so it's rough. But we get monitored, we get looked at, we get checked up on, we're tallied, or deeds are tallied. So if you don't have someone saying, thank you, Spirit is coming through, I'm seeing this A+ here, Archangel Michael peeking in. I'm seeing a cute little unicorn here, and they're holding up the little chin, like boop, the little, mouth, snout, I don't know. Cute, the head. So cute. And they're like, it's your head, and they're saying, we're proud of you. So if you're doing stuff in your life, if you're making headways, if somebody here is having a comeback, a few of you are having a comeback in your life, if you don't have somebody saying, we're proud of you, great job, we're seeing what you're doing, I want you to know they definitely are seeing what you're doing. Okay, I am seeing some shots or injections right now that could be for somebody here, and it could be interpreted however it is for the person it's for. If you're like, what does that mean? It may not be for you, right? So the Spirit is showing up, and they see you. There's a lot of learning right now. Oh, my card fell. Hold on, let's see what that is. There's a lot of learning. 4 of Pentacles. Wow. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. But let's read what we're seeing here. They're acknowledging a loss of direction for some people. Thank you. It's kind of prodigal son energy they have going on here. They're acknowledging a loss of direction for some people. Some of you may have been holding on to something a little too much. You've been clinging to a path that is not the right path. You know if that's you, because I see it being crossed with the 8 of water, 8 of cups, walking away from something, making heavy duty decisions I'm seeing. And some of you had to witness the decline of something, maybe a relationship, an opportunity. You had to witness the breakdown of it. You had to be shut out of it. You had to be pushed aside, whatever it is. It was for your better. It was for your benefit, they're saying. And that is the way, Spirit is saying, that is the way the universe makes decisions for you when you don't make them for yourself. Now we get umpteen opportunities to make the decisions for ourselves, when to walk away, when to leave, when to, but we hold on, and this is understandable. We hold on, and it's okay. We understand. But it does just mean that it's going to take you longer, and it's probably going to be very hard if you let the universe take it away from you. But either way, why they're acknowledging you guys is because you've returned from that path. And here we have the King of Air, King of Swords, through decision, because you made a decision. to come back home. You didn't make the decision after it was broken apart and stuff, maybe for a little bit, but after it was broken apart and stuff, you didn't make the decision to sit and do nothing and mourn and just sit and be inactive. No, you're like, okay, it's done. I lost whatever your ideas were. And you're making your way back home through your decision. Spirit is saying, look at Archangel Michael coming through. We see you. We saw that. That was still a choice. You made a choice to pick yourself back up and to walk back home. You're coming back home. This King of Air is giving me major Six of Wands victory energy. So you will always be welcome back in the kingdom, so to speak. But we really know we never left the kingdom. We only believe we have. Of Course in Miracles teaches us we're just having nightmares. That's it. That's it. But Spirit, God honors our free will so much that we have the free will to sit and conjure up ideas like fear and reality. So much so that here we are in the third dimension. I almost said fifth dimension, right? Hey. Here we are in the third dimension having this experience. But we know at a higher level, it's not real. It's very real to us here because we believe in the effects of it. Okay? And what we call life and incarnations and going through all of this stuff is our way of reminding ourselves that it's not real. And it takes lifetimes because it just takes us that long, you know. It doesn't have to, but you know, it is. And that's just where we are. So wherever we find ourselves, God bless us. I'm seeing a donut for somebody cute. I would love a donut right now. Glazed. But wherever you find yourself right now, just know that you're here for a reason. Pick yourself back up. You know, knock off the dirt on the boots. I just heard knock the boots, okay? I don't know who that's for, but I also heard knock off the dirt on your boots. Maybe someone just walked in, I don't know, from outside. Whatever it is, yeah, we're here. We're out here, and we have so much support. It's crazy. When I was living in Japan, some of you were with me when I started this, you know, when I was living in Japan and broadcasting from there. I remember thinking, dude, there is nowhere I can go without seeing an attendant of some sort, like somebody standing, you know, they look like cops or little guards or whatever, and they're usually older and just standing there to kind of help you with anything. I after a while I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I needed just like but you know me, I like my space a lot. I just needed even to find an empty parking lot where there was nobody, you know, to go down an empty aisle where I didn't see somebody or someone watching and always waiting to attend, you know, like sometimes it's just, I just need to be alone. And that was annoying to me. Sorry. But in a sense, the point I'm sampling that memory for is not to tap into the annoyance, but to show you that we think we're alone down here, but if we actually could see energetically, you might be a little unnerved. For some of you, like, oh my God, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. Because yes, you think you're alone because in the 3D, where things are in the third dimension, they're physical. You can see whether you're alone or not. And oh, I'm the only one in this room, I'm alone. But you don't understand. There are other dimensions and there are beings from your spirit team members, from people walking by, coming in and out, you know, just, yeah, okay? So take that how you'd like it to be taken. And that's why they say there's no such thing as privacy. You think there is, but there really isn't. All right? And so the reality is that we live in the multidimensional world. Beings are all around us. They see us. They try to talk to us. They try to interact with us. And just like people that we meet here on Earth, some are not beings you want to even associate with. And then some are pretty cool. But, you know, why do they have to be in your room right now? Like, we don't know. Honey, was that you? No, that wasn't me. I'm in bed. Who's that? Who's by the window? I don't know, but they're watching, right? It's not to unnerve you or scare you. It's just to let you know that the reality this is the life, and this is the awareness that we as human beings need to start moving towards, because we're moving into more awareness. Everyone wants to be at that 5D, new earth, all that blah, blah, blah idea, but they can barely grasp or accept what's going on here in their own space. So while we're here, let's start opening up to understanding. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to live your life as if you're under a microscope. No, but it does mean learning to be more aware of yourself as an energetic vessel. You have more energetic bodies to you than you have a physical body. You have to understand that just because you don't know what's going on in your non-physical field doesn't mean it can't affect you. As the guides have mentioned in, what was it? Maybe one of the readings they put out this week. I think it might have been the week 1 October reading. Ignorance is not a justification. What you don't know can affect you, and it does. And so moving into the future means starting to become a galactic citizen, because in this timeline we're definitely going to have more connections with our galactic cousins. Some of you already have, and you already know what's up, but it's just going to become more. But you want to start to walk before you can run. Start learning how to accept the differences amongst people on Earth, whether that's their race, their creed. I always want to use creed. Like, what exactly do they mean by that? But their abilities or whatever. Start practicing. Start opening up to understanding what's going on with other people. Be flexible. Be ideologically flexible, right? And it means understanding your energetic field. Why am I feeling like this? Why am I lashing out all of a sudden? Is that mine? Is it something that doesn't belong to me? Is that a solar flare that's hitting the earth? Is that, the eclipse energy? Is there a non-physical being that's messing with me? Is it that I just need more sleep? Do I need more beta carotene? There's more to understand about life and about yourself. And that's why when Spirit really talks about us, lovingly, of course, as being in the sandbox, listen, we out here in the sand, but you can make a choice as to how long you'd like to play in the sandbox. All right? That's just how it is. And unfortunately, but fortunately, when we start to understand and we want to evolve, so we say, it means learning to accept what is, learning to seek to understand and less to be understood. And it means understanding what you think is real and what you think is authoritative and what you think is right, wrong, up, down, good, bad may be completely false. It may not even be a factor. You're thinking there are only 2 opportunities. When you really look into it, they're like 46. Everybody else in the galactic community can see it, but we can't. And so we're easy pickings, all sorts of stuff. And so anyway, long story short, because we can keep going, but long story short, the point is our guides want us to remember who we are. And they want us to start by looking, start somewhere. Start by looking at who we're being. What are you being right now? And understand that you can be being a certain way, but it's not your reality. Understand that you can be being a certain way, and that you can be aware that you're being that way, and then you can make a choice. And when you make those choices, if you are connecting with your higher self, if you're taking stock, if you're contemplating, if you're reflecting, if you're checking in with yourself, you understand that you have a higher chance of getting onto the path of your highest timeline, which is the path of your highest good, than if you were to just keep walking through the earth believing that, everything's physical, I'm 6 figures, I'm this, that, I look good, I this, and or I'm married and I have kids and I'm better than it. All of that stuff means it means something, yes, but it's only one small piece of the pie. You are not any of those things. You're having an experience of those things. Many of the experiences that you're having are breaking your own heart because you're not looking at it from the right perspective, and that's understandable. We're all in the same boat, myself included. I just somehow get to channel, but I take notes, right? Oh my gosh, please don't tell me that was the universe agreeing. Just kidding. But at the end of the day, you're so powerful that you need only to set your sights on what it is you'd like to do. The problem is we don't know what to ask for. Because we're being sold, you need to ask for more money, you need to ask for more men, you need to ask for more women, you need to ask for more reputation. These are not things you want to ask for. You want to ask to be in alignment with what serves you best. Because you know when you're being serviced best, and I mean in a healthy and loving way, you're serving others. No matter what you do, if you're serving your highest good, you're serving others. If you're serving others, you're serving your highest good. So I'm going to end this transmission today by presenting a question. Ooh, I know we're channeling galactic guides because they're about to hit us with this major question. All right. I have to laugh. It's so funny. Oh God, it's a very important one. Welcome to the galactic community, they're saying. So if you're connecting to my channel, the guides are coming through, you're definitely going to be moving along and coming into a greater cosmic consciousness, and you'll be having your contact as is, they're going to hook you up, okay? But the question that they want to provide to you is this: what is your designation? And you don't have to even answer right now. You can reflect upon it as you move forward. You can join those beings in the galactic community, and if you don't know what I mean by that, extraterrestrials, okay? You can join those beings in the galactic community who are already heavily working with people and governments and all of that here. You can join those who are committed to service to others, meaning they are serving the idea and the truth that we're all one, and that only love is real, and that when we liberate each other together. That we're only as strong as the weakest, quote unquote, right? It's about helping each other, not about impeding upon anyone's sovereignty, telling them what to do, things like that. Those who are in service to others are here, and they're committed to helping with the spiritual evolution of all, okay? Or you can choose those beings, and of which there are many of whom have been tampering with, involved in the earth, anyway, Earth's history, let's put it that way. You can choose that group which is in service to self, okay? So I'm going to leave it there. But please know that that's probably the most important question I probably asked you guys, and I think that's because the teams here, the channeling guides here, feel that you are ready to have that question, and you're en route to having greater cosmic consciousness, however that is for you, by your soul's design and soul contract. But as they say, it would be great to lock that in, that question: service to others or service to self. And they also want you to start by learning more about yourself, your energetic field. Your body is important. Learn to feed it. I'm taking notes on that. And learn to give yourself the rest, and learn to all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. But you must pay attention to your energetic space, because those who are in service to self and who are controlling a lot of the ways that the earth moves, they know about it, and that's why many people suffer on this planet, and they just get loose. They're loose. Anyway. All right. So I'm going to leave it at that. Reflection point. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. It's interesting. It's funny. Okay. Yeah, I do counseling, intuitive counseling. It's the Zoom session. So if you have questions, things like that, I would direct you towards that. If you'd like to do some healing energy with me, energy sessions, I would direct you towards that. And if you'd like to have readings as well, all of that is on my page. Until then, God bless you guys with this full moon in Aries. Contemplate on what they've said. Do your best and just be awesome like you are, okay? God bless you. Mwah. And have a nice